just time. I'm tired of my husband. Hi, you guys. It's Kiana. I'm doing my morning reflection. I take time in the morning just to look outside and take notes of the things I need to do. And it has me thinking about all the engaged ladies out there. And a few people have asked me this already too, like, what are you guys gonna do? What are you planning on doing? And I'll just say for me and Mark personally, we aren't planning to do anything too extravagant to the point where we would have to change our plans a lot. Our wedding planning is actually gonna be quite simple. So we actually never set a date. We didn't have a date. We thought about doing it next year just to give ourselves some more time to prepare, but we're flexible to it happening sooner than later. Because we're just ready, you know? Like, you get to a certain point where it's like, it's just time. So what was I trying to say? I had to stop the camera because I totally lost track of what I was trying to say. Me and Mark's plans were going to be very simple. So thankfully the pandemic is not really stopping us from progressing in our plans, because we're still working on just getting established first. It's just a matter of things aligning for us. But for the other brides out there, what are you guys thinking about doing? I know a lot of people have already decided to cancel their weddings, and it really had me reflecting and just thinking about, well, the importance of marriage and why we get married. And the wedding is celebratory, but the marriage is lifelong, till death do you part. I'm just like, what are you guys thinking about doing? How are we going about it? A lot of us, myself included, have to change our perspectives on our wedding day and the way we envisioned it. You guys, I had a whole vision of how I wanted things to play out. I have a few visions. I'm like, you know what? If plan A doesn't work out, plan B is, just as good. And then plan C is great too. So I've had a few different ways that I could envision myself getting married. And thank God Mark is like, hey, whatever. He's so flexible, it doesn't matter. But, hey love, I miss you. And there are so many married couples right now who are like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to leave the house again. I'm tired of my husband. And he's like, I'm tired of my wife. I get it. We have to change our perspective because even after this whole thing passes, they still might put regulations and stipulations in place where we're not allowed to have gatherings larger than a certain amount of people. So even with that, and then it's like, are we still taking a chance? Because just the same way the flu exists or a cold exists, this strain could still exist after, it dies down. So it's like, well, what do? What is the safest thing to do? And I would say, if you really just want to be married, then go ahead, get married.
Get married.
If you can. But you really have to just think about it. And me and Mark have been just praying like, Lord, have your way, because it just may not be the way that we envisioned it. But the purpose of the marriage is two people glorifying God with their love. Their love glorifying God and becoming one and unifying. And if that's what the wedding signifies, then you can still go ahead and get married.
Get married.
Because now you're still glorifying God. So if you look at it that way, it becomes less daunting, I guess. And I remember when I shared the news with my Confident Sisters. I call them my Confident Sisters because I was a part of the Confident Woman Mentorship Program hosted by Amanda Pittman. Shout out to Amanda Pittman. She was my mentor. Hi, Confident Sisters. The girls were telling me, like, let God be in control. Like, don't get overwhelmed by the planning process. Let the Lord lead the way with your wedding planning. And I was like, okay, Easier said than done, but yes, you're so right. Let God do it. Then this happened, which totally threw a curveball and like everyone's plans. It's like threw everybody off. So it was like, okay, Lord, so what are you trying to tell us in this time? And the thing is this, it's not selfish, it's natural. It's natural to want a beautiful wedding day, to have your dream day just the way that you want. But at the same time, I'm like, is it about me or is it about the union? Is it about me or is it about what we're doing in the eyes of the Lord, in the sight of the Lord? Whether it's 5 people there or 50 people there, it's going to be just as beautiful. So for those who might be having a hard time with wedding planning, I'm just praying for you in this time. I would recommend just asking the Lord what His will is for your relationship and praying that He have His way in the wedding planning process. And I'm not saying go outside of the regulations. I'm not saying that. I am saying, though, if there's a way to still do it and you're not crossing the lines, then hey, just something to think about as you're pondering how to go about this time. Maybe it's okay to still get married and just have something intimate if you really just want to be married. Have yourself a pandemic wedding. That's a first, right? There's going to be plenty of pandemic babies. Why not have a pandemic wedding? So I just thought that was interesting as I was sitting here. Also, I just started my own business. I have not launched yet, but I've been in the process of putting pieces together, and I really can't wait to share more with you guys about it. But with the COVID-19 happening right now, I have not been able to launch the main product, but I am thinking about launching one of the products that I have. So please be on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, you can follow the page at Heal the Girl on Instagram. I post a lot of inspirational content there, but I will also be posting what I'm launching on there as well. So that way you guys can be in the know of what's going on. So anywho, I just hope that you guys enjoy your day. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. Couples that are engaged, brides-to-be, share with me what you're gonna do, and let me know your thoughts on having a wedding during the pandemic or not. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.